Welcome back to Nourished. I'm your host, Colleen McCarthy. Today I have in the studio with me, Lori Hayes.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're here. I'm excited to talk about essential oils today. This is something that I love and I use in my practice. I use in my house, on my hair. Lori is a top leader of doTerra, who is not only passionate about sharing education with people on the benefits of essential oils and living a more natural lifestyle, but she also empowers thousands of people to create a more substantial income using doTerra products and informing people and educating about what all of these lovely things do.
Exactly.
So something that we want to mention before we start getting into what these oils are and what they do, because we're going to talk about ingesting some of these, I just want to bring to your attention that not all essential oils are meant to be ingested, and not all essential oils are created equal.
Exactly.
This is why I love doTerra, because they're pharmaceutical medical grade.
Yeah.
You can ingest doTerra, certain ones from doTerra. But the ones that you see in your local stores, those may be good to diffuse, but I would not ingest them, because what we spoke about earlier is they penetrate your cell membranes, and that can really create some extreme dis-ease in the system and make you very sick. So I just wanted to hone in on that, because I know you probably have people asking you all the time. So before we get into what each of these do, if you pick up an oil, you can tell. How can you tell if they're meant to be ingested or not?
So, and this is going to be doTerra specific, okay? Because honestly, there was a recent study done that there's such an influx of essential oils on the market that over 80% of them are adulterated in some form or fashion. And when there's a synthetic added to an essential oil, your body doesn't respond in the same way, and it's not safe. So whatever I share is going to be doTerra specific. But if you pick up a bottle of doTerra essential oil, and you may not be able to see this, but there's a supplement facts label on some of them, okay? And that just says that it's basically been approved by the FDA as a food item. Okay. And so that's a quick and easy way to know if one of doTerra's oils can be taken internally or not.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's a good tip, because I know that some of my oils, I use doTerra as well. Some of my oils don't have that label, and so
you shouldn't take it internally.
Right. Even when you're starting out, like I don't know how many of you guys out there listening and viewing have used essential oils, but what are some of the basics that you would recommend to a client who's just starting out with using essential oils?
Like basic oils?
Oils, and then how to
or
use
basic
them.
practices?
Right, yeah.
I highly recommend that, especially if you're using doTerra, that you really work with whoever enrolled you I partner along with my customers side by side, and I really teach them and educate them, but learn how to dilute an essential oil. That's a first great tip, is how to dilute, what oils to dilute. Yeah. Learn how to take them internally. What are the best ways to do that? What are your resources? Like, I teach people, there's books, there's apps, there's a website that
there's
has
apps now?
There's an app. I'll have to show it to you. That you can look up, ailments, and it tells you exactly what to do. Learn what's the best way to diffuse, right? Yeah. Like, how many drops do you put in your diffuser? There's so many basic ways to use essential oils. They're very easy, but I just recommend either working with somebody or having the tools around you to utilize.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know when I was first starting out, I was so overwhelmed. I'm like, oh, all of these things, and all these things are great. I want to use them all at one time, But then it's like, okay, well, does this work? Is this going to harm me?
Yes.
Having my medical background, I'm like, does this is this contraindicated for anything?
Right. Right. That's why I do so many Facebook videos.
Right.
Showing really simple and effective ways to use essential oils, because they really are simple and they can be so effective. And a lot of times people are just scared because they don't have the education and it's not readily available to them. So that's kind of the reason why I do what I do.
Cool.
Yeah.
Today I want to talk about essential oils for immune and gut health.
Okay.
So, those specific ones. Okay. Because I know in my practice, I see a lot of, I work with people with gut issues and just general overall health.
Yeah.
Allergies is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Indigestion is a big one. But like flu and cold season, people are looking for natural remedies.
For sure.
People are looking for other ways to support their immune systems and not take all the other junk
stuff. Yeah.
That's out there on the market that actually makes you... The system doesn't know what it is.
Exactly.
I feel like our bodies
know exactly
what this is.
Right.
So, what's your favorite potion for allergies?
It's so simple, y'all. Lemon, lavender, and peppermint. It's such a basic combination. Because so many people were making capsules with lemon, lavender, and peppermint, we actually have a capsule that's pre-made now.
Perfect.
Yeah. With lemon, lavender, and peppermint in it. But like if you have children who are not going to swallow a capsule, you can make a roller ball. I bought this roller ball. You can make a roller ball that has lemon, lavender, and peppermint and fractionated coconut oil in it. And you can just roll that right on them. So you can use it topically. You can take it internally. You can diffuse it. It's excellent.
To all three?
Yeah. Lemon, lavender, and peppermint combined in a diffuser is amazing, especially at night.
Okay.
To be able to support your body at night. I know for me, when I was dealing with allergies, I would wake up just a mess.
Yeah.
I'd wake up a mess. So to be able to support your body overnight, in that way, you wake up refreshed and you don't start the day
already groggy.
Yeah. Like it's a good thing. So I like to use lemon, lavender, peppermint, and Breathe. We have
Breathe is great.
We have an oil called Breathe too. You can even add that in your diffuser with the lemon, lavender.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And that's like what, eucalyptus and some other stuff?
Yeah. It's like 5 or 6 different oils.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you use it topically,
do
you put it on your feet? Do you put it on where do you put it?
So I tend to use lemon, lavender, and peppermint actually separate a lot. I do have a roller ball that I apply to the bottom of my feet.
Okay.
But if my nose is runny specifically, I just dab lavender right over right over my nose.
Okay.
Or under my nose. It's amazing. I was doing a fair at, like a little fair.
Yeah.
And I had a booth and it was allergy season and I was handing out lavender, just putting a little dab. And I told them, I said, just dab it underneath your nose. You can hear their nose stop running. Like as they're talking, you can hear the sniffles stop.
It's that fast.
It's that fast. So I love lavender for that. Peppermint also open up the airways, help you breathe, because sometimes people get a little congested actually with it. So
with peppermint, like for those sensitive individuals, like skin sensitive, I'm pretty sensitive.
Yeah.
But some oils I can put, directly
without any
here.
problem. Just dilute it.
Okay. A little bit of coconut oil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
dilute
right.
it in coconut oil.
Okay. Perfect. doTerra has great quality, which is another thing that I love about them.
Yes.
As far as like flu and cold and just as far as like keeping your immune system up.
Yeah.
I know doTerra has something for that.
Okay, there's a lot. We could talk like for a whole hour on that subject. I will tell you, for those of you guys that don't know about doTerra, we are the world leader. We are the world's largest essential oil company. We're the most tested and the most trusted. And you guys, we're a very science-based company.
Yeah.
So if you go to doTerra.com, you can read all of the science. There's published studies. There's so much science. And you can even go to source2u.com.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with that one. It's a little bit newer. But you can actually take your bottle of doTerra oil, plug in the code that's on it, and you can see the testing for that particular batch of essential oil. Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to address that.
Yeah.
But I find that your immune system is directly it's in your gut.
Yep.
Most people don't realize that, but I know that that's one of the big things that you teach. But one of the biggest disruptors of the gut are chemicals.
Yep.
And so This was so new to me. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
When I started with doTERRA, I had no clue. And I had no clue how much was in my home that was disrupting my immune system.
Yeah.
And so one of the biggest things I tell people do, I'm like, look, if you can make a couple of simple changes, just even in your home. They say that fabric softener is the number one pollutant.
Oh, I
in your
believe
home.
it. I believe it.
We use vinegar.
We don't use anything.
Yeah, I add vinegar to my fabric softener little thing, and it is amazing to soften your clothes.
Okay.
And it's vinegar.
Cheap.
Yeah, it's cheap and it's
vinegar.
And it's vinegar. So it's totally safe. But we use there's On Guard we use it to clean with. Y'all, there was a cool study done that showed that On Guard cleans a surface longer than bleach and antibacterial sprays. Cleans it longer, and of course it's 100%, and it cleans it better.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah,
I mean, I use it in my house.
Everything.
Mold.
So diffusing On Guard in your home, especially during cold season, because the way different people get colds or the flu is literally through contact. And they touch the same refrigerator.
Yep.
Door handle that the sick person just touched, and that's. So if you're diffusing On Guard in the air, anywhere those molecules land, that surface is being cleaned. Perfect. Yeah, it's amazing. Awesome. So door handle, things that you don't think about cleaning are going to naturally be cleaned by diffusing On Guard. Yeah, it's incredible. But so you can clean with it, you can diffuse it, but then also being proactive and using it topically, taking it internally, just supporting your body is really one of the best ways to keep your immune system in good shape.
On Guard you can ingest.
Yes.
Yeah. And y'all have cough drops and stuff too.
We do. We have On Guard throat drops. I mean, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We have, a lot.
So there's also some oils that you can use for viral stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So On Guard is good as well. I do like to add either oregano or melaleuca.
Melaleuca is great.
Yeah. I like to add some of those types.
Okay.
There is a product that we came out with, I don't know, it's been several years now, but it's called On Guard Plus, and it is a capsule, and it has On Guard Plus, oregano, melissa, and black pepper, and all three of those are anti-everything, viral, bacterial. And so that, if I ever start to feel unwell in any way, shape, or form. So even at night, like when I'm getting ready to go to bed, if I feel more exhausted than I should, I take an On Guard Plus before I go to bed. If I'm around a bunch of people that now are telling me that they are sick or whatever, I'm like, okay, I start taking my On Guard Plus. So that for me is my go-to. Now my daughter, I have 2 kids in college. Okay. Well, my son just graduated, actually.
Nice.
Yeah. But I have, my daughter uses the On Guard, but she also uses On Guard on her feet. Yeah. And oregano on her feet as well. So we do both. We do topical, and then we also do the capsules.
So you hit it from both ends.
We hit it both ways.
So when you use oregano on the skin, it's definitely diluted.
Definitely dilute. And we actually, this is what I recommend. You can dilute it yourself, and that's great because a lot of our kits come with a bottle of oregano that's not diluted. Right. However, once you start using doTerra oils, I highly recommend, we make roller balls that are called the Touch line, and they're pre-diluted, and they're actually safe even for infants. Okay. So, yeah, it's a great gift for a new mom. But, yeah, my daughter doesn't like to get oils on her hands. So she has the entire Touch line, and she just rolls On Guard and oregano right on her feet.
That's great. Yeah. So let's talk about all these things that you have up here.
Okay, so I did bring ginger. Ginger is indigestion, but it's really great for nausea, upset stomach, settling the stomach. Okay. And so a lot of people really love ginger. Yep. I mean, it's fabulous. Do you use ginger? Plain ginger?
I have. Yeah.
Okay. Like you can put this in your water. Okay. You can sip on. A lot of people like to mix ginger and peppermint together. Yeah. And sip it. Yeah. And it's very calming. Very calming. So I did bring that, but lemon is probably,
it's a hot commodity in my house.
Yeah. Yeah. So we add this to our water. I just do 1 drop to about 8 to 16 ounces of water. Okay. And every time I, replenish my water, I just add 1 more drop. If you get 2 drops in there, it's totally fine. But yeah, this is a game changer for a lot of people with their digestion, and they don't even realize it. But I know for me, when I started using it, all of a sudden I became more regular. And I thought, gosh, it has to be the lemon.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I've changed. And so this is really good for flushing out toxins.
Yeah, it wakes up the digestive juices. It does all of that. It does pretty much the same thing as a freshly squished lemon. Squished.
Yes.
In your water.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about essential oils is you don't have to use a lot.
No, 1 to 2 drops is typically a dosage.
Okay.
Yeah. Typically
so I know that some of my clients are like, how much should I use? The whole thing, and it's like, they're concentrated.
Well, yes. I mean, they're very concentrated. And to be honest with you, they're very strong. They're very powerful.
Yes.
And so, I think in maybe the American society, I don't know if maybe other countries feel this way, but in America, we think more is always better. Yep. And with essential oils, that's not the case. Your body just can't use that much.
Right. It doesn't need that much.
No. And you won't utilize it. It's like wasting oils. Mm-hmm. So 1 to 2 drops at a time is really all you need. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. So let's talk about frankincense.
So frankincense is really good for anything. It's a really amazing anti-inflammatory, but I think one of the key things about frankincense that I want people to know, there's 2 things actually. Number 1, it's a very chemically complex oil.
Okay. Meaning
that it has a lot of different chemical constituents in it, meaning it affects more body systems than the average oil. Okay. So, whereas Digestin, most of these oils affect, for the most part, 1 or 2 systems. Frankincense really, it's one of the only oils that I know of that affects all of your body systems. Okay. So we say, when in doubt, get your frankincense out. But here's the thing: frankincense is more expensive.
Yes.
Okay. And so if peppermint or Digestin is going to work for you, then use that. Okay. But pull out frankincense, especially if you have a lot of inflammation going on. Okay. It's really great for that. Another thing is that doTerra's frankincense is a very unique frankincense in the marketplace. Okay. There are actually 4 species of frankincense that are mixed in this bottle. There is no other company that does that. We take the 4 most beneficial for the body, and we have combined them into doTerra's frankincense. So when people say, "Oh, I get my frankincense wherever," it first of all, it's not going to be as pure as doTerra's, but second of all, it is not the same. We do not have just one species
blend,
in here. There's 4 that are combined, so it's completely unique.
So I've heard that frankincense enhances an oil, like another oil. Is that true? Like if you...
So that's my understanding. Okay. A lot of people will combine it with.
Okay.
Yes, but I don't have any kind of scientific... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that.
I've just heard that, if you use frankincense with other oils, it will enhance.
That's what I've been told.
It will make it more effective.
Make it more effective. Yeah. In my mind, because of all the chemical constituents in frankincense, I feel like, maybe part of that is that it is such a well-rounded oil that it's going to affect so many things at the same time. Yeah, that it helps as well. I don't know if it enhances or not, but it's a good. I actually use it every single day. So
how do you use it every single day?
One of the things that I know that frankincense does is it repairs damaged DNA. It's been clinically proven to repair damaged DNA, and it helps your body reproduce healthy cells. So, healthy cells, healthy body. Yep. So I actually apply frankincense to the bottom of my feet every morning. Okay. And I apply it to my moisturizer, along with yarrow palm. It's a whole other oil, but and I apply it to my face.
So just really in your moisturizer, you just put like a drop in there.
Yep. With yarrow palm, and I put it all over my face. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try that.
Pretty crazy. It's pretty cool. It's one of the only oils that passes through the blood-brain barrier as well. So brain. So when you're applying it to your face, it's going to be good for brain health as well.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Yeah. So that's, brain health, immune system, all the same thing.
All the same thing.
So let's talk about these 3 guys. Well, this is Digestin in a capsule, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But doTerra also has some other things that can be used internally as well that contain oils that things like I would use in my practice, like a digestive enzyme.
Yes.
So let's talk about Terrazyme. And this is, like for people that are having like major indigestion, or having trouble breaking down food.
Correct.
Right. So I always ask my clients, like, do you have undigested food in the toilet?
Oh.
Most of the time they're like, oh yeah, maybe. This is where I would recommend a digestive enzyme.
Yes.
Now if they're having heartburn with that, betadine HCl is good with the digestive enzyme, this is lovely for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
And you can get it from you can get it right on doTerra's website.
Absolutely. This was I'll never forget my experience with Terrazyme. We were at an incentive trip. We were in Jamaica, actually.
Oh, nice.
And we're sitting around the table with a bunch of doTerra leaders. I was fairly new still in the company. And one of the guys pulls out a bottle of Terrazyme before we were getting ready to eat. He says, who wants Terrazyme? And everybody's like, oh, yeah. And I thought, oh, my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. I had no idea what it was. I hadn't learned about it.
Uh-huh.
And that's when I really learned about it. And it has been such a game changer. Yeah. Especially for customers who have any kind of food intolerances. Yep. You can really, one of my best friends, her son is lactose intolerant. Mm-hmm. Well, he's a teenager.
Yeah, he's going to eat it.
He's going to eat it. So, but he knows now, he carries Terrazyme with him. And so if the kids are eating pizza.
So it helps.
He takes his Terrazyme. Yeah. And it helps.
So
it just breaks down your food. I actually, when I teach classes, sometimes I bring like a little pudding cup and I put some Terrazyme in it and I stir it up. Within about 45 seconds, the pudding is liquid. Like water.
Interesting.
Water breaks it right down.
Yeah. Okay.
That's cool.
And then it's able to move through the digestive system and be absorbed.
And you actually can absorb the nutrients.
Right.
That way too.
Yeah.
And as you get older, you produce less.
Mm-hmm.
It's even more important as you get older.
Yeah. And so this is not like a replacement if you have food intolerances or anything like that.
No.
But this is something that definitely helps.
Yes, it can support.
It can, until you figure out what else is going on, like your friend's son knows he's lactose intolerant and he knows he's not supposed to eat it, but he's a teenager, he's going to do it anyway.
He's going to do it.
I mean, even us as adults, like I switch people's food up all the time based on their blood work, and I'm like, okay, you can't have ABC, and they're like, okay, well, I'm going to eat C tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, well, listen,
okay, great.
You're going to need a little bit of help, but that's okay. It's just, again, listening to your body and knowing like, okay, I just need a little bit of help, and this is great.
Yes.
Because a lot of people don't know, like this is a reputable place that you can get it from.
Yes.
That's another thing that I like to just mention is reputable sources.
Yes.
When it comes to supplements and oils, obviously.
Yes.
Things like that. They also have a probiotic.
Yes. Yes, it's amazing. So the probiotic is, it's called PB Assist, and it's a prebiotic and a probiotic together combined.
Okay.
And so what happens is a lot of probiotics, they break down in the stomach and then none of the good stuff makes it to the gut. So in this case, it's a double encapsulated. So, there is some breakdown in the stomach, but then the important part actually makes it to the intestines. Yeah, where it's supposed to go.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about application and ingestion safe ways to do that. Because I know we've mentioned coconut oil a couple of times.
Yeah.
So when you are applying the oil to the skin, a carrier oil, general coconut oil, or?
So you can use any vegetable-based oil.
Okay.
However, with that being said, we do recommend fractionated coconut oil. Okay.
It's
coconut oil where they've removed the fat.
Okay.
So it stays in liquid form all the time.
Yeah.
It's not super greasy. It doesn't have a smell.
Okay.
And it just works really well with the essential oil. Now, that being said, if you don't have fractionated coconut oil at home and you're in a bind, you can use olive oil.
Okay.
They're just heavier, greasier. They have a smell.
Yeah.
The oils are not going to be able to, it's going to take longer for the oil to penetrate because the oil is so thick.
Okay.
You can use regular coconut oil that you buy at the store.
I know sometimes I've done that.
Yeah, and it's totally fine. I actually did a video last week on using regular fat, the coconut oil with cypress for your legs.
Ooh.
Cypress is really great for circulation, and it helps with varicose veins and
interesting
and spider veins and things like that.
I'm gonna have to use that.
So I just did a video on that. And I used the full fat coconut oil because it's so nourishing.
Yeah, for the skin.
So yeah, there's different ways to use it, but I do recommend diluting. I don't dilute all of the oils. When you start with doTerra, they'll tell you which ones you really need to dilute. Like oregano, you should dilute all the time. Yeah, all the time. But if you have sensitive skin, or if you have any sensitivities, my suggestion is to try an oil first, diluted. See if you have any sensitive skin. If you do, then dilute all the time.
Okay.
That's totally fine.
Okay.
Totally fine.
You'll still get the same
You still get the same benefits. It's just one little extra step that you take, but it's worth taking the extra step.
Okay.
And if you're on any medications or you have any major health concerns, talk to your physician and let them know what you're wanting to use. And get their opinion on that.
Do your research.
Yeah.
And like you said, talk to your physician. If they're not open to it, then just find another medical way that you can, and trust your gut. Trust your intuition.
Exactly.
Is a lot of, like if you don't feel like this is going to go well with the medications you're taking, then don't do it. Then just diffuse it.
Exactly.
It. You know what I mean?
You still get a lot of benefits that way.
Right.
Exactly.
So if you're like just learn, I know for me, when I was just learning, I was like, I don't know if I want to like jump on in and put all these things in my system. Let me just diffuse for a little bit.
Sure, totally fine.
But then I was super comfy and started ingesting. And I think we were talking earlier about using the capsule versus like if you don't have capsules or you don't use ones that are in the capsule, or you don't have them, you just have the oils. Right. Can you put them in just water?
You can.
How much water?
It depends.
Okay.
You could put it in 8 ounces of water and sip on it for a long time. But if it's one that you might not like, then I just put it in a little shot glass. Okay.
That's what I tend to do.
Yeah.
With like On Guard, and I'll mix a couple for like flu.
I have a really sensitive palate. I don't do that very often.
Yeah. I'm usually okay with it.
Yeah. My sister is too. She like downs oregano and crazy things. And I'm like,
I know.
I personally don't do that. But.
Okay. So not only are essential oils great for the physical body and the ailments and supporting the immune system and things like that, they're also good for our emotional well-being.
Yes.
I know for me, like I use certain oils, like I'll put lime over my heart if I need to like use both of these things at once. To do, more heart-centered work and feel more heart-centered.
Yes.
As opposed to being all up in my head.
Right.
But doTerra has like a line.
Yeah, we came out with a line about 2 or 3 years ago. And I'll be honest with you, when I started using essential oils, that whole emotional part of essential oils, I was like, yeah, that's just weird. I don't know. I don't get it. Now I'm so about it because I've felt and seen the differences. But one of the ones that I love particularly is called Forgive. And if you're feeling angry or bitter or resentful or any of those feelings, you rub Forgive over your heart, your solar plexus. Okay. And it's just amazing at how
kind of brings you back to
Yes. And it happens pretty quick. I actually give Forgive to people who are also grieving. Yeah. I give Forgive. We also have another one, Console, which is fabulous.
Yeah, I don't have the touch ones, but I have them when they came out. When they first came out.
Yeah,
tiny bottles.
The tiny bottles. Now we make the touch, and I like to diffuse the one that you have, but these are diluted, and they're just so easy. Just ready to go. Yeah, Console is another one that, like, my husband's uncle passed away a couple weeks ago, and I brought his aunt, Console and Forgive. And it was so helpful for her.
Even just hard times. I know when I have a 3.5-year-old pit bull, but when she has epilepsy. Oh. And when she had massive seizure, ended up in the hospital for a week. I was a mess.
My gosh.
I used Console. Yeah. Every day.
Yeah.
And it really helped.
It does help. It does help.
I was like, amazing. I don't know if this is going to work, but I need something.
It's amazing. Every oil has an emotional side to it. And so what happens, we call this side benefits to essential oils, because what happens, they're using an oil for physical reasons. But then, I don't know, a month passes or 2 months pass and they're like, man, my mood's been more stable. Or like they notice things that have happened or haven't happened, that have been significant in their life. And it's because all the oils have an emotional side as well.
I mean, our spirit has that.
Yes.
We're also feeding our spirit.
Yes.
When we're using these oils.
Exactly.
So it's like a all-in-one kind of deal. Like benefits that you don't know that you're getting emotionally. You're getting them physically, but emotionally they kind of take you to a whole new level.
Absolutely.
That's one of the reasons why I love essential oils myself too, is because it kind of hits both our spirit and our physical body.
Yes.
So I know you have some resources.
I do. I brought a couple resources just because these are probably the two that I use the most.
Okay.
The first one, if you are interested in learning more about emotions and essential oils, I love this book. Now, it is a doTerra specific book. So it's got in it, like Forgive. Forgive is in here. And it has a whole page talking about Forgive, how to use it, where to use it, the whole thing. Okay. So anyway, this is called Emotions and Essential Oils. You can find it on Amazon. This is the
Amazon.
Yeah, 7th edition.
I think I have an older version.
You have an older version.
But I want to get that updated one.
Yeah, brand new. Just probably came out 2 or 3 months ago.
Okay.
And then this is one of my favorite books. This gets used a lot. This is called The Essential Life Book, and it has a breakdown. This is also doTerra specific. It has a breakdown of all the different oils, what they're mainly used for.
I like how it's set up. It's very clear.
It's very clear. Black
pepper's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, black pepper's amazing. And then it has all the blends in the back, and then it has body systems. So if you are
a nerd like myself,
if you're having something dealing with respiratory, you can go to the respiratory section and look up. There's a fabulous cough syrup that you can make with honey and On Guard and frankincense and lemon and so it has recipes in it and all kinds of stuff. It's a fabulous resource.
Where can we get that one?
So I know that Amazon sells this.
Okay.
I also know there's a company called oillife.com.
Yeah.
And they might even sell both these. Okay. I don't know. But I know that I have bought this book there as well.
Okay. So Amazon or
Oil Life. Oillife.com.
Oillife.com. Okay.
Yeah.
This has been so great. I love essential oils. I loved having you here. We could probably do 2 hours on this stuff. Wow. But if you want more information, you can find Lori on Facebook, and she's got her classes and things like that on there.
Yes.
So if you want all this information and more, please go find her at lorihayes.hope. That's on her Facebook.
Yes.
And you can also find her on Instagram at Lori_Hayes10. And that's on Instagram.
That's on Instagram.
Yes. And you said that you were doing more classes and stuff, so you have stuff on your...
Yes, I actually have some full classes on my Facebook page. And so you can just watch the video that's saved right there.
Awesome.
Yeah, full class. And then I do smaller classes, and I also do local classes as well.
Cool.
I come teach classes in people's homes for their friends.
Okay.
So that's a super fun thing to do.
Okay.
And everybody gets to use the oils and smell the oils.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
So if you want to find Lori, find her on Facebook, find her on Instagram, reach out to her. She's in the Atlanta area.
Yes. I live in Midtown.
Okay. All right. And if you want to find me, you can find me on Instagram at ColleenMCC_. And on Facebook, I am Colleen McCarthy RDN, and my website is colleen-mccarthy.com. So thanks for joining us today as we talked about all things essential oils.
Yes.
And I'll see you next time where we are learning more about feeding the spirit.